Mamie est belle, mais la moustache, elle a cabochon. Sito patamilo, minata, katiki, bunetika. Sito patamilo, minata, katiki, bunetika. Sito patamilo, minata, katiki, bunetika. Sito patamilo, minata, katiki, takatiki. Sito patamilo, minata, katiki, bunetika. Sito patamilo, minata, katiki, bunetika. Sito patamilo, minata, katiki, bunetika. Mamie est belle, mais la moustache, elle a cabochon.
What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today, y'all, I'm tired as I don't know what, man. I've been going through film for the past several weeks. Of course, I'm a college football fan, so I watch the games. I jot down names and stuff like that during the season of guys that I think are going to be good. And then I go back through their film just to confirm some things. And if it's not confirmed, I cross them out and everything. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to change a couple of these things up. I'm going to give you the guys that I think that everybody should look at. Look at film of these guys. Look at some of the stuff about these guys. It's actually really good because I've watched film. I don't look at mock drafts early on. I don't look at any mocks. I don't look at other people's evaluations because I want my own evaluation. Because a lot of times people don't watch the film. They just sit up there and read other people's evaluations and then they try to come off and make it like it's theirs. But it's really not. They're just regurgitating information. So what I'm not going to do is, because I'm going to let y'all ask me about it, I'm not going to talk about the quarterbacks. I'm not going to talk about the quarterbacks. I'm not going to talk about the cornerbacks because I know that from my understanding, there are a lot of guys that's mocked to us. And I would rather let you guys ask me about those guys versus me telling you about those guys. I'm going to tell you about one guy, and at the same time with the quarterbacks, I'm going to just give y'all a little piece of nugget about the quarterbacks. But other than that, y'all, so I'm going to break it off. I'm going to start off, and then at the end, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to leave your comments. Tell me what guys you want me to tell you about. Because again, and I'm going to do the Down in the Comments show. My Down in the Comments show is going to focus on the guys that you want me to tell you about. And I'm going to do the whole show based on guys that you really want me to tell you about. So with that being said, these are my guys that I want everybody to pay attention to and watch film on, because these are some guys that I really like. And to be quite honest, I got two offensive people on here, but I don't have a lot of top level guys that you want. So again, I'm just going to rail off these names so you guys can actually watch film on these guys. And I'm going to give y'all a little brief synopsis of my opinion on these guys. So I'll start off from the top. The first guy that I think everybody should look film on and actually look at is Darnell Washington, the tight end out of Georgia. I really like this guy, man. I mean, he's a fantastic blocker. And I mean, he seals edges like it's nothing. And then because he's such a good blocker, what happens is that he gets lost in routes because everybody is so focused on his blocking that they forget that he can go out and receive as well. And not only that, cornerbacks and safeties have no chance with him. He will run guys over and basically stiff arm them out the way and everything like that. He does an amazing job with catching in traffic. So to be quite honest, I love this guy, Darnell Washington. I know he's probably not the top. In fact, he's more than likely not the top rated guy at tight end. But for me, I love this guy. I mean, like, he could be a serious red zone threat. And like I said, because he seals the edges so well, I mean, the running game will benefit from him being in the system and all that. But Darnell Washington, I absolutely love this guy. Like I said, he's so good at blocking that they got him blocking on extra points and field goals. So, I mean, like I said, this guy is fantastic at tight end. And for me, this is a guy that I think everybody should look at. Darnell Washington, the tight end from Georgia. My next guy is Keanu Benton, the nose tackle from Wisconsin, number 95. I've been watching this guy for a while as well because, I mean, all he does is blow up plays. Like, every time I've seen him play, all I've seen him do is basically decimate the line of scrimmage. And even though he's great against the run, he can also shoot gaps as well too. And to be quite honest, if Daron Payne was to leave, I wouldn't mind us replacing him with this guy. And I know a lot of y'all are going to say, John, we just drafted a defensive tackle last year. Yeah, but again, we're talking about just because it's a strength doesn't mean you can't strengthen it even more. Keanu Benton is that guy. I mean, Keanu Benton, I mean, you guys have to watch film. I mean, because I'm talking about this guy blows plays up. And I mean, no matter who he faces, no matter who he goes up against, he's getting in the backfield. He's getting to the ball. And I mean, I just feel that this guy, even though they got him playing the nose, there's times where he does move to the where they go with a 4-man line. But again, all I see this guy do is blow up plays. So Keanu Benton, the nose tackle out of Wisconsin, check him out. Next is a offensive lineman, a center actually, and he's the center from Michigan, Olusegun Oluwatimi. I like this guy a lot. Now, I remember him at Virginia, but when I went back and saw film of him in Michigan, it seemed like nothing has changed. This guy does a really fantastic job of pointing out blitzes, he being able to call really good blocking schemes, and he does a great job when it comes to run blocking and pass blocking, and also getting help whenever he's facing somebody bigger or more stronger than him. He knows how to call the plays to get the double team to help on whoever. So I really like him as a center. Again, you got Chase Roullier, who's been hurt 2 years in a row. Tyler Larson is a free agent. Nick Martin wasn't that good. And Wes Schweitzer just doesn't fit at center. So again, Olusegun Oluwatimi. Watch Michigan tape. If you aren't impressed or aren't quite focused on Michigan, he has film from Virginia if you want to see if there are any flaws. But again, like I said, I like this guy a lot. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about quarterbacks. I'm going to tell y'all who my favorite guy in this entire draft is, but I'm not going to talk about quarterbacks. So the next guy on my list is DeAndre Square, the linebacker from Kentucky. I like him a lot. He's not there's certain things that I like about him. One is that he's able to identify plays very quickly, and he gets himself in position to make a play on the ball or make a play on the ball carrier or whoever. And not only that, he's good in pass coverage as well. Here's another element to this as well. He's also Jamin Davis's former teammate, and I feel that if you paired him back up with Jamin Davis, we might see Jamin Davis go to another level. He also calls all the plays for the defense. And like I said again, he does a really good job identifying plays and blowing plays up and getting in there, getting in the way, batting balls down, trying to get interceptions. He does a really good job with that. I know some people might feel that he's undersized, but guess what? Everybody felt the same way about Nick Bolton, and we see what's going on with him in Kansas City. So again, DeAndre Square, Jamin Davis's former teammate and middle linebacker. Understand, without DeAndre Square, Jamin Davis wouldn't have moved up the draft like he did, because DeAndre Square really helped him out a whole lot. So again, like I said, DeAndre Square, linebacker from Kentucky, check him out. Last but not least is my guy Ventrell Miller out of Florida, the middle linebacker out of Florida. He's not the greatest. He's not as good in pass coverage as DeAndre Square is, but he does a really good job getting in coverage and getting in the way. He's a tackler. He gets to the ball carrier. Like, he doesn't play around. He doesn't try to look pretty or anything like that. He's like one of those old school linebackers. He will get to the play and everything. The deal with him is that because I don't think he's playing behind a really, really good defensive line. I mean, he got good players on that defensive line, but in comparison to our defensive line, I think we will see a completely different linebacker playing behind our defensive line than behind Florida's defensive line. And I like him a lot. Like I said, I think he's a guy that can end up with a high number of tackles. He will more than likely blow up a lot of running plays, which is what we need. We need a guy that's going to hit the hole when running plays come through, hit that gap and close that gap up. And this guy does that. He does a fantastic job. And he does a good job with running guys down. Sometimes you'll see where he might look, where it looks like he's giving up, but he's actually letting somebody else make the tackle. But I think that with him on the line, again, we need somebody that's a thumper that's going to get in the way and get things done. And I think that with Ventrell Miller, that's the thing about it. So those are my guys for you all to look out for. Look out for these guys. Look at their film. I'm telling you, you're going to have a different mindset for these guys. So that's my rundown of the guys that I like in this upcoming draft that you guys should all check the film for. So next thing I'm going to talk about is my favorite guy in the draft. It's not probably everybody's favorite, but he is absolutely my favorite. And that guy is Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback out of Illinois. I mean, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about cornerbacks, but I'm going to talk about this guy because he's my favorite player in the draft. Devin Witherspoon is probably the best corner in this draft, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt. This guy is a fantastic cover guy. He's pretty good in zone too, especially. But I think that what happens with him in zone is that they need to open his responsibilities up in zone versus shrinking them down, because I think that whatever's going on, what his zone area is very limited. But I've never seen a cornerback like this guy. This guy actually sits up there and follows the top receiver for each team over and over again. Everywhere that top receiver goes. He locks down the top receiver. Not only does he travel with the top receiver, he travels even into the slot. When I say that, there's a lot of guys that they have a difficult time transitioning from the outside to the inside. This guy's transition is completely flawless. Not only that, you're talking about this Devin Witherspoon with the way that they move wide receivers around in the NFL now. Somebody like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, even to some extent how we utilize Curtis Samuel. Deebo Samuel, all these guys, they do a thing where they'll be outside and they'll be in the slot. CeeDee Lamb is another one. They'll be in the slot and then your slot corner has to check them. Witherspoon eliminates all of that. Like I said, there are times where I've looked at film of Witherspoon and I'm just like, Slim, like did he just go from the outside to the slot? Like, did he follow this guy to the slot? I'll give you guys 2 games to watch when it comes to Devin Witherspoon. The first game is Purdue against Charlie Jones, which is their Purdue's top receiver is Charlie Jones. He's a really good receiver. Devin Witherspoon pretty much sealed him up, locked him up. The other one is Michigan State. Illinois versus Michigan State. Their top receiver is Jaden Reed. And Devin Witherspoon followed this dude from the outside on one side, from the outside on the other side, and then followed him to the slot. Shut him down. It is absolutely amazing what Devin Witherspoon can do. And I'm going to tell you something. He's a guy that I would say is like fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And I mean, I understand why he's the number 1 overall corner, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If this guy doesn't go in the top 5 picks, people are making a massive mistake, because this guy is just that good. Like, I mean, I've never seen it in college football before where I've seen a guy go from the outside to the slot with basically no with ease, like complete ease from the outside to the slot, like it was nothing. Basically finding a way to take away the top receiving threat on any team. He does that. I mean, he follows that guy all around. And like I said, it's the most amazing film you'll ever see. Trust what I tell you, Devon Witherspoon is incredible. But with that being said, the last thing I'm going to talk about is this. The top 2 quarterbacks in this draft are absolutely amazing. They really are. I'm not going to go into much detail about a lot of stuff, but the top 2 quarterbacks in this draft, these guys are incredible. I mean, their accuracy is on a completely another level. I mean, these guys surprise you with the way they basically create they like create lanes, create passing lanes, or like they're able to get like they're able to throw the ball on the dime and on the dime perfectly for a wide receiver. I mean, those guys are fantastic. But like I said, I mean, the top 2 guys are something. But for y'all who are wanting Washington to draft a quarterback this year, beyond the first 2 guys, Sam Howell is better than everybody else in the draft. That's just to be absolutely honest. You know, if you're actually going to go with Sam Howell for the beginning of the season, he's actually better than the rest of the quarterbacks except for the top 2. The top 2, like I said, the top 2, their accuracy is insane. I mean, it's a thing of beauty when you watch these guys throw the ball, and it's great. But like I said, Sam Howell is actually better than the rest of the quarterbacks in the draft. So, you know, if for some of y'all who want Washington to draft a quarterback, it may not be a reason to, because again, Sam Howell is actually better than the rest of the guys in the draft, other than the top 2 and Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. So, with that being said, like I said, y'all tell me who y'all want me to give you the evaluation, my evaluation of, and how they apply, and how I apply my SSN metric. Again, and it could be any player. It doesn't matter what school, doesn't matter what conference, doesn't matter anything. Just let me know, and trust and believe, I will be giving you my assessment of these players. So give me all your guys that you want me to give you my review on, give you my analysis on, and I'm going to help you guys with y'all mock drafts, because even with that, we're now starting to see people drafting, and they're actually drafting more on my SSN metric versus drafting the best available or stuff like that. So again, y'all go ahead, put y'all questions down there. I will come back with my down in the comments segment on Saturday, because I want to give everybody enough time to throw your guys in, so I can give you my fair assessment of the guys after watching so much film. I mean, all I've been doing is watching film of everybody. And there's some guys that I was surprised they didn't go into the draft, and I was surprised some guys that did come out in the draft. So again, y'all tell me who y'all want me to evaluate and analyze for you. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.